the European Commission has always had a very clear view on it. And the European Commission here is not the problem. The European Commission is the architect of the single European sky. It's the member states that are the problem. And if you dig, you don't have to dig that deep, but if you look at countries like France and Germany, you just scratch the surface and people get very nervous. People talk about national interest and so on. And if you, even people with very good will, when you actually talk to executive staff of these air navigation service providers, they still think in country borders, which I find very shocking. If you make a telephone call, I mean, I am oversimplifying, but you actually, when you make a call from here to your home country, you actually think like, oh, well, it's got to cross all these services and so on. No, it works. Flying, passengers take it for granted that they fly cross borders. It should be really cross border. ANSPs, and included because they are monopolies, they have no incentive today to do better. And we pay them as airlines a lot of money for sometimes a lousy service. I'm not even talking about strikes, just the delays. The fact that the problem in Karlsruhe, that the DFS is using shortage of staff, for me is an excuse, because it's not a new problem. It's a problem that's been going on for years, as you know, and always comes up, oh yes, it takes 2 years, 3 years to train ATCO staff. We know that. Actually, I would be blunt, we're not interested. We're paying for a service, we want to have a good service at the right price. That's, by the way, our passengers are paying for that service as well at the end of the day. It's just, and you know, it's not the only monopoly problem we have in our value chain. We can start talking about airports, that's not subject for today, airports with significant market power. But clearly in our value chain, we are, in our value chain, the only truly liberalized player in aviation, you know, in addition to the OEMs. The rest, I mean, a couple of huge bottlenecks here, which competition lawyers have always agreed in the Commission, we need to do something about it. But you need to have agreement with from some large member states that have important votes to move forward. So national interest at the end of the day still plays a role. So it's not the Commission, it's the member states that need to get moving. The same politicians that argue that a tax will do something about the environment are actually on the other side, their tax on the one side, and on the other side they block decisions in Brussels. You're absolutely right. It is a nightmare. It doesn't make any sense. If you see how much, as Michael Olive said, how much you can save up to 10% CO2 emissions per year just by having a more efficient European airspace, that's huge.